Good evening, everyone. There's something very unique about tomorrow. Tomorrow isn't only tomorrow, tomorrow is next year. So, with that, as we say in Hawaii, Hau'oli Makahiki Ho. Happy New Year 2026. Happy New Year to all of you. Hi, my name is Joe. Thank you again for joining me. Welcome back to my channel, Lords of the Fly. Tonight's video will be about how reading can serve in the therapeutic process of stroke recovery. Yes, you heard it correctly. I believe the Holy Spirit has whispered this in my ear. It's become an intuitive feeling that reading in itself is a therapeutic tool in the process of recovering from strokes. Why do I believe this? Well, reading helps the individual regain the ability to understand and process the written language by way of vocabulary recognition, text comprehension, and the ability to derive meaning in the sense of intellectual meaning, emotional meaning, social, universal meaning, even spiritual meaning through the written word. I don't hardly do resolutions each year, but this year I'm going to resolve, and not just resolve, but I'm just going to declare that I am going to read 100 books this year. I will read 100 books this year. Let me put that more emphatically. It is more than a resolution. I am going to do it. And in a while, I'm going to show you some of the books I already have outlined. And this is how I'm going to do it. My plan is, well, I read the Bible through once each year. So by reading 5 pages in the Bible, over the course of 1 year, I will have one of those 100 books read. In 8 months, I will read 9 books per month, and that gives me another 72 books. That leaves a balance of 27 books. So in 8 months, I'm going to read 9 books. In 3 months, I'm going to read 9 books. Excuse me. In 9 months, I'm going to read 8 books. That's 72 books. In 3 months, I'm going to read 9 books. That's another 27. 72 plus 27 is 99, and the Bible makes the 100th book. So let me show you some of the things I've set aside to read, at least in the coming next 2 or 3 months. I'm working on these the beginning part of January, and then I'm going to work on some old classics like Oliver Twist and Around the World in 80 Days, along with some spiritual books and one practical book on making children mine. It's about parenting, but as a grandparent, I'm interested in that. And then here's some elective reading. Food by Susan Powter, who wrote the best-selling Stop the Insanity. I enjoy reading about the Amish people. I'd like to learn more about them through their writers' literature. I like political science, so this one is about the biography of a former president's wife, Barbara Bush, who was significant in the political scene a few years ago. And here are books for entrepreneurial pursuits. As you can see, there are 3 books in the bottom about YouTube. I've used these as references for my YouTube work. Very interesting, and they're like go-to manuals that I can keep reading over and over again. Rich AF, from a woman's perspective, is how to survive financially and even prosper. Sell Like Crazy is another good, interesting bestseller in the entrepreneurial personal finance section. So these are some of the books that I'll be reading the first part of 2026. And like I said, I've got a plan, a numerical plan, to read so many books per month. And by the end of 2026, I will have read 100 books. That's my goal. Reading is also crucial for motivation and recovery because it provides a sense of accomplishment and engagement. Accomplishment and engagement are particularly significant for a stroke recoverer like myself who wants to have an effective YouTube channel. Let me put it this way. The more I read, the bigger the basket of ingredients I have of things with which to create more content. Because I'm not just speaking to the spouse or the person in the room. I'm speaking not only to the neighbor across the street or the person on the other side of the neighborhood or the opposite side of the state or the other side of the country. I'm creating content for a global network of people. And the Holy Spirit is like this wonderful civil engineer who is rebuilding the neurons and electronic transmitters in my brain, the synapses, the connections. He's building a network, rebuilding my brain, my broken brain from the strokes. And the engagement goes beyond my skull. It goes by way of my speaking on YouTube, clear across the world. For there are other people who are recovering from things like stroke or cancer or COVID or some other health that may be encouraged spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, may be encouraged by things that I can share. So the more that I can read, the more fodder, so to speak, I will have with which to share what I've experienced or believe in my road to recovery. So thank you, everyone. That's the message I had tonight. Thanks for sharing this with me. If you haven't already done so and you feel inclined, please subscribe and help my channel grow. God bless you all. Have a wonderful new year. Be safe and may God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.